Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're going to be talking about the things that we have learned in marriage in the last 2 years. So October is basically our anniversary month. So soon it'll be our anniversary, like our 1 year wedding anniversary, but like 2 years of marriage, because we had our traditional marriage and then our actual wedding as well. So yeah, it's like our anniversary month. So we just wanted to reflect and talk about the things that we've learned in our marriage so far. Yeah, so let's get right into it.
What's the first point?
Okay, so I think first of all, I just want to say that I feel like most of the time, like most people, before they get into a marriage, they already have these preconceived ideas and like preconceived thoughts of like how they think a marriage should be. And so when they get into the marriage, they think, okay, this is how this is going to be, this is how this is going to be, this is how my partner is going to be, and then what they expect their partner to be like. And most of the time, it's not always what they think or what they have thought in the past.
I definitely had a lot of expectations when I came into a marriage. From movies and from what I expected of a wife. But like, for example, I've never been married, so I don't know how a wife is meant to be like. So once I got into it, I kind of figured, oh, it's a learning process. You both have to learn together. So expectation was gone out the window when I got into it.
Yep. One of the first things that we had to quickly come to learn was that you and your partner are two different people. You're two different individuals, and when you come into the marriage, you're going to do things differently, because how you grow up doing things is usually what you carry into the marriage. And you're like, okay, this is how I usually do things, this is just how I am, this is my way of doing things. And your partner's also going to have his own way of doing things. And so sometimes when you come into the marriage, that could be a clash. Because let's say, for example, you're someone who you want things set up in a certain way in your house, whereas your partner doesn't really mind. He's just like, no, just put it anywhere, I don't really care. And so when your partner has that mentality and you're like, no, it has to be put here, it has to be put here, and then you're telling your partner, no, you have to do this, and then your partner might get a bit like, okay, like, why though? Why is it necessary? Why can't it just go anywhere? What's the point, And so there can be a bit of a clash. Like, did you find that there was a clash with certain things?
There was.
There
was. Like, as she said, we're two different people. So regardless what I had or not, there was going to be a clash in that area, because there's only a rare occasion that you see people come together that they do things similar. Exactly the same. But like when you come together and
opposites
you do things,
attract as well. Opposites attract. Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like we had to learn to live with each other pretty much. We had to learn to do things together, to have things like the way that you both wanted. Like, pretty much the way that you both wanted it, not just the way that you wanted it or your partner wanted it, but the way that you both wanted it. And learning that process of understanding, okay, this is like talking about it, communicating about it, and working out the best way for the both of you. So
coming into a marriage is like being a baby again. You have to take every step like it's your first time together. Basically, you have to forget everything that you have learned by yourself, and now you have to build together. And everything has to be a first for both of you.
Because I think we bring a lot of our own, like, from our parents, things we see our parents do, things we see, how we were with our siblings. We bring a lot of that, and we try to put it in the marriage, and we try to say, oh, this is how I used to do this is how I used to do it at home. We should do it like this. But does it work for the both of you, And if it doesn't, it has to go, because it's not going to work, and it's just going to cause issues most of the time. So that's the number one thing. You're both two different individuals coming into, like a space that you're going to now live together and learning to live together. Because if you don't, clash. There's a lot of clash, bro. It's a lot of clash. Next one was disagreements. So we found that disagreements were inevitable, and basically based on the fact that we do things differently. And that you said a bit about what you think, because you were saying before about misunderstanding. Like, a lot of the time when disagreements come about, it's because we don't understand your partner or what your partner's trying to say.
Yeah. Disagreement can come from different places, and the only way that you can get rid of that is understanding each other completely. Once you understand your person completely, regardless what comes towards you, you will know how your person reacts to it, and you'll kind of adjust yourself before you approach them. Sometimes I make her angry by how I respond to things, and we have a disagreement in that. Like, I'll be like, oh, I didn't do that. I don't mean it like that, but she's taking it a certain way. So I have to learn that, oh, maybe when I'm talking to her, I have to kind of change the way I say things for her to understand me. You have to understand where your person stands, and then everything should be all right.
Yeah, so I think being flexible to be able to, like, not always have your way.
Yeah.
In regards to disagreements, I think one of the things that we disagreed about at the very start of our marriage was money and how we spent our money, how we saved our money. Obviously, we all spend and use money differently and save money differently. And I think when I came into the marriage, I was just doing my own thing, like, I was very like, look, if I have something to save for, I'll save for it, but otherwise I'm going to use my money how I want to use it. And so when we got into the marriage, a lot of the time, like, Ben would be like, because Ben's a saver, so he'd be like, like telling me, okay, don't do that with your money, do this, do this, do this. And I would be like, like, don't tell me what to do with my money, like, what do you mean? Like, I work for the money, what's the problem, But I had to come to the realization that it wasn't my money, it was our money, and he had the right to tell me how to use it and how to, like, give me suggestions of how I should be saving or using, because at the end of the day, it's both of us in the marriage now. It's not about me anymore, but it's about the both of us. How I spend my money is going to affect how he, like, how he lives, and how he spends his money is going to affect how I live, because now we both have to contribute to all our goals, all our things that we want to do. So I can't just do whatever I want. And also the fact that we have, like, now joint accounts and all that, it's like you both, your money, you're using it together, you're working towards that same goal. And so you have to learn how to manage your money well, pretty much, in your marriage.
And like she said, I was the saver and she was the spender at the start.
Still.
And we're still, yes.
I'm still
she is still the spender. But now, like, I had to learn to, like, I used to save a lot. Too much that they used to have fun or all this stuff. So, and she used to, I used to, but once a year I'll go and spend ridiculous amount of money, just once a year. But when you measure it towards her, she used to buy stuff like every second day. She will have a new outfit.
That's a bit far.
No,
that's a bit far.
Every second day.
That's going too far.
Kind of. But anyway, my point is, she used to spend a lot, but she didn't used to think past, like, unless she has something like, for example, oh, I want to buy a car next year. Okay, I'll save for that. Oh, I want to buy this next month. Oh, I'll save for that. Besides that, other money she has, she'll spend it. While I used to be like, oh, I really need that? Nah, I don't. I'll save for the future. I used to save like that. But then once we met each other, she started kind of guiding me. We still save for our future, but we still enjoy in the time being. Exactly. Which was really awesome because it helped me and it helped her as well.
So that really, it worked out really well for us. And now we're trying our best and we're, like, learning to, like, manage our money well, kind of thing. We're still learning. So third thing that we learned is that service is everything, and selfishness has to go. Like, selfishness cannot really, like, doesn't have a place in marriage, because the two of you have to work together. And, like, when you're selfish, you usually most of the time you're just caring about yourself. Me, I want this, I want that. And it's like your partner is just there, and who's looking after him when you're too busy looking after yourself?
I know.
Or who's looking after me when you're too busy looking after yourself?
That's true.
But like, the fact that I think as human beings we are just like very, very selfish people. Like we think about ourselves first, and I think our society even teaches us look after yourself, self-care, self-care. I'm not even trying to say self-care is wrong, because if you don't look after yourself, you can't even look after anybody else. So that's important. But I'm coming from the point of view of marriage, when it comes to marriage, it's like you can't always just be looking after yourself. You have to be looking after your partner, because that way, if they're doing the same as well, they're looking after you, it becomes a beautiful combo where you're both looking after each other. There's none of this thing of like my partner doesn't even take care of me, my partner doesn't even buy me this, my partner doesn't even do this for me. I just feel so alone. I feel so none of that, because your partner's taking care of all of those things, you know. And if you're doing the same for your partner, it's beautiful, because it's like they have someone that's looking after them in the areas that they need looking after, you know?
Yeah. I just have to say there's no I in team.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things. There's no I in team. We're a team now. I don't think about I am this, I am that, I need this, I need that anymore.
Yeah.
Because most of the time now, when you're in a marriage relationship, what you got to think about is we or you. Like, for example, I can say you need this, you need that.
Yeah.
Like how she said before, looking after yourself too much. It's not a bad thing, but the most beautiful thing is like when your wife or your husband look after you so much that you even forget to look after yourself.
Yeah, because you're looked after.
Yeah, everything you need, they're providing it, that you even don't need to do anything anymore. That's when you know that
you wouldn't look somewhere else even.
Yeah, like self-care, like she said, self-care is a beautiful thing, but it also is in a marriage. If you know your wife likes facial stuff, like looking after her skin and stuff, buying her skin stuff like that, shows her that you care about her, and she doesn't even need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But it still shows self-care. But it's not talking about you need to do everything yourself. You know, you have to turn around and look towards your person. Like selfishness has to go out of a marriage. That's basically.
It's like a recipe for disaster, man. Selfishness, when you care about yourself too much. I think because it's come naturally, and I think it's a hard thing. It's not an easy thing. So it's like a process that you have to go through and learn. Okay, today it's not about me. Because most of the time, at the end of the day, let's be honest here, you're going to be thinking about yourself majority of the time. But you have to, like, in your head, think about it as, okay, I have to think about my partner. I have to think about what my partner wants. What my partner wants today. This is what we're doing, you know?
And the other thing is basically, you know, like she said, selfishness is basically, it's like a human nature. Since you were born, you had that. So human nature is the hardest thing to change. But once you have something even better in front of it, like she said, your partner, whenever that thought comes, you think about your partner is more important than that.
Yeah.
That will go away. But it won't happen straight away. It will go slowly. We're still working on that right now.
Yeah.
But we're just giving you guys insight of what we have learned in this little time.
Yeah.
We've been dating for over 7 years now, so that's why we have a little bit more.
Yeah, but I think even
in marriage,
after dating for even 7 years,
in marriage is
after
different.
you date for 7 years and then you come into a marriage, it's like, no, it's like, and I feel like dating was just having fun, enjoying yourself.
Yep, dating, and the hard part of our one is when we're dating, we're living together.
Yeah.
Once you live with a person, you really get to know them.
Get to know them.
Dating is just sweet memories.
Yeah.
But once you live with them, it's also sweet memories, but you really get to know your person and build with them.
Yeah.
But when you're not living with them, don't think that you know them completely. Never.
You really don't.
Until you move in.
You really don't.
And let me put it this way. Give it 4-5 months, and then the real self will come out into the house.
All the tantrums, all the anger issues, all the lovely characteristics as well. Everything, all the beautiful things about them and all the ugly things about them. We'll begin to see all of it, and it's like, wow, so this is the person I married.
And you have to deal with it,
Yeah. But anyways, so another thing as well, not last thing, but almost last thing, that I really, really found so important in the last 2 years was that prayer was everything, or is everything, even right now. I found that a lot of the time when there was something that we really needed in our marriage, praying for it was always the answer. And things came about because of prayer. When like at the start, because like we're really open people. If you guys know us, like you know how open we are. We say things like it is. If we're upset about something, we say it. If we're like happy about something, we say it. We're just very open and very honest. And so at the start of our marriage, we were very vocal about everything and anything. We still are, but now we have a bit more wisdom of how to vocalize some of those things. Because I think when we were angry about, we just say it, and a lot of like just unnecessary rude words will come out too, you know. And it's like that gave more room for the devil to work in your mind. See, because your partner wouldn't even do this for you because of this, and just created more and more chaos that was so unnecessary. Because it's like your partner loves you, your husband and wife love you. They would never do anything like that to you, you know. And it's just because you've opened that doorway for any like negativity. Then they were just adding more and more and more. And so we had to learn with our tongue to speak positivity, always speak life, because you know with our tongue we speak life or death. And we have to learn to speak life, even when we feel like speaking death, even when the situation looks so like annoying and you're just upset and you're angry, still speak life.
Speak what you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking what you want to see. You want to say anything about that?
Yeah,
speaking what you want to see.
Like a testimonial to that is basically, you know, whenever she's mad at me, a lot of the time she'll just go and pray about it, you know. Now, before was a different story.
It just comes out.
Now she will go and pray about it, and then God is the one that comes and speaks to me, and then I start changing those things. So a testimony of prayer is that in a marriage, if you pray about it, God is on your side all the time.
And He wants you guys to work out.
Yeah, so marriage is from God. It's not from anyone else. It's from God. So if you want it to work, ask Him, and He will show you the way. And another thing, just to add towards that, is like in a marriage, guys, this is what I figure out. In the Bible, it says, "Husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church." A question to you, husbands out there, is: are you loving your wife that way? And wife, it says in the Bible, submit to your husband and respect them as you will unto God. You love God, you cherish God, and all of that. Are you doing that? Are you treating your husband that same way?
That's such a deep one, man. It's so deep.
You just gotta ask yourself that. If you're not doing that, whatever love you're showing to God and all of that, He's telling you, show that same love to your husband. Are you doing that?
Yeah, and I think with that, you have to come back to that level of understanding. Like I think God really broke it down to me really well. Because I think for me, I had a problem with submission. Because I was like, I'm not going to let any man put me down or bring me down or make me like worthless. Because I've seen a lot of that. A lot of men make women feel worthless and feel like they're nothing and hurt them. And so I was like, I'm not going to let no man ever do that to me. And so I had a problem with being submissive, you know. But then when I was really like, because the best thing I did was, because I've been told, you know, the best way to solve issues is through knowledge, through understanding, you know. I was reading this book, Married for God, and in the book it was saying, you know, like when we submit, it's not about, you're not doing it because, you know, your partner's forcing you to do it, or your partner like wants you to do it, you must do it now. But you do it because God asked you to do it. And it's like, who are you serving? Are you serving your partner or are you serving God? And so when I came to that understanding, I'm like, whoa, God, you know higher than me. You know better than me. You know why you are asking us to do that. And so when I do it because you are asking me to, not because I think women are kind of traumatized a bit, some women, because of the things that they've seen. And then most of them, they don't want to submit because they're like, no, because you're just going to treat me anyhow. I don't want to be treated like that, you know? And so when you come to that understanding of, no, but if you're Christian anyway, no, I'm doing it for God. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not even doing it for me or for my partner, but for God first. When you do it for God, then you realize. And anyways, like, if your partner is a good person, if your husband is a good person, he's never gonna like try to lead you astray or put you down or try to hurt you or anything in the way that he leads you. Because at the end of the day, he's supposed to be the leader of the house, you know. And so whenever he asks you to do things, it would never be anything bad. But just because of your preconceived ideas, you think, oh, he's asking you this, oh, he's asking this again, or this, or that. But really, it's like, no. Do it because God asked you to, and do it because it's like a respect thing for your partner as well. He feels more respected, he feels more loved, he feels like, oh, you know, I'm the man, because, you know, like, you are there for him. You actually submit and you listen to what he has to say. And when I learned that, I was like, whoa, God, like, okay, now I get you. Now I get you. Now I get why you want me to submit. And it's important. So
there's a lot to that. Like, if you, for example, all the things that ladies or men has been through in their previous relationship or have seen can affect their relationship if they bring that mentality into it. Sometimes you gotta just start fresh. You gotta start fresh and forget. Treat that person as if they've never done anything to you. Even if they repeat something that you've seen in the past, it doesn't mean they're that same person. They might have been doing it in a different way. So you got to forget all that things, and you got to forgive whoever did that to you, and then move on.
Forgiveness
is a big thing, but unless you forgive, you're not going to forget about
in a
all
marriage. If you're not forgiving every day, if you're not forgiving every day,
not day, every hour,
every moment,
every second,
forgiving. Because the thing is, because you live with each other, like you piss each other off easily. One thing that the person does, why are you doing this? And I don't know why you get more irritated with your spouse more than anybody else. I actually don't get that. Like, I feel like I wasn't as irritated with my siblings.
I'll just tell you right now, I get bored a lot. So I try to annoy her a bit, you know. I feel like a relationship that is not spicy, you gotta bring a little bit of spice into it, alright? I get bored, so I have to make her feel alive.
If you guys have husbands like mine, if your husband's like mine, if you guys know Ben. But anyway, the point is, in marriage, though, just in general, you have to forgive all the time. You have to be quick to forgive. Because if you're not quick to forgive, you leave room for the devil to come and create more issues. Because you have a lot of thoughts and a lot of like all these negative ideologies that come. Oh, my partner, maybe he thinks this. Maybe my husband thinks. And then it leads to just all this other negativity. So forgiving, moving on, quick. Very fast, necessary. It's necessary because you're living with this person for the rest of your life. You don't have a choice.
You're stuck.
You don't have a choice.
You are stuck.
You don't have a choice.
But it's a good stuck. You don't want to get out of it.
So that's pretty much most of the things that we've learned in our marriage, guys. The biggest thing is get knowledge. Like I think that we said a verse one time in one of our other videos. We said like understanding and knowledge is what carries a home, is what actually sustains a house, a home. Without it, you can't. And the thing is, before we understood how to be in a marriage or how to do certain things the right way, like people that have taught us, like our pastor took us through a marriage counseling course, and he taught us the correct way for like to be in a marriage and to like live out your marriage, and that really, really helped us. It gave us so much understanding and so much peace, and we knew our roles, and now it's a matter of us actually practicing and doing the things that like we were taught. Because when we don't do those things, we see the consequences. We really see them. So really getting knowledge, getting understanding when you're having trouble in anything that you're going through. There's so much information out there, so much books out there, so much videos, so much podcasts for you to understand and know, how do I deal with this issue in my marriage? So then that way it will not become a recurring problem. You're looking at me, what's the problem?
My people perish due to lack of knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video.
That's why looking at me, guys.
That's the end of the video.
Thank you guys so much
we'd like
watching.
you to go like, comment, and subscribe.
That's it. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys in another video. Bye.